Action Electric, Consumers Cooperative, Culvers, Fairfield and Sweets, Gateway Power Sports, Gavin Brothers Auctions, Jay's Ag and Food, Jay's Power Center, Deering Trucking, Pickett Septic Service, Pointed Communications, TNT Custom Concrete, Slama Equipment, 99.7 MMA FM and Civic Media, and the Meat Market. Those are our Diamond and Platinum partners here this evening at the Sauk County Fair. A reminder out to the fans, if you are looking for something to do to contribute to the Badger State Tractor Pullers, here's your chance. Badger State Tractor Pullers is looking for a new design for the t-shirt for the 2027 American Family Children's Hospital event, Saturday, June 27th, the Sauk County Fairgrounds in Baraboo. Drawing on 20 year-old structure tractors and more are welcome on the shirts, so put your group together and have them come up with a design for the 2027 American Family Children's Hospital event t-shirt and submit those to BadgerStateTractorPullers@gmail.com to a PDF format. BadgerStateTractorPullers@gmail.com. Submit your design for the t-shirt, American Family Children's Hospital event.
Thank you to the Badger State Tractor Pullers sponsors here in 2026. Platinum sponsors: Hennessy Implement, Kwame Insurance, Nutrient Ag Solution, Lemke Motorsports, Ritchie Implement, Organics, Slama Equipment. Diamond sponsors: Budweiser, Rank Seed, Sussex Machine Company, Diddy and Milling, Moser and Associates Insurance Services, Galax Grading, Compeer Financial, Insight FS at Jefferson, Wisconsin Custom Operators at DeForest, and K&M Sales and Service. We are just a few moments away. Night number 2 of the Pro Stock Triple Crown kicks off here at the Sauk County Fairgrounds. Tomorrow night will be stop number 3 of the Triple Crown. Welcome into the grandstands here. Friday night action. Badger State Tractor Pullers on the pulling track. We went from the rodeo back to the pulling track here tonight. Class order this evening. What we're going to see on the track: Hot Farm Tractors is the first class of the evening. Limited Pro Stock Tractors come out second. Super Modified two-wheel drive trucks, third class of the night. Fourth class is the Pro Stock Tractors, and Pro Stock Diesel Trucks conclude the action here this evening. And we are just a couple minutes away from our National Anthem opening ceremonies, and we're going to kick off this night rocking and rolling here this evening. We're so glad that you're here with us this evening.
Screen on this camera goes black. Every now and then it comes back on. Black. Back on.
I just used that Jefferson.
No. See, it's black right now. Let's turn it back on. Flip it around.
Let me see it.
We're just a couple of minutes away, folks, so that means I get to turn it over to the royalty of the Sauk County Fair. Anna and her partner Millie is up here, and Anna is the fairest of the fair. Millie is the Sauk County, Millie Junior fairest of the fair. And we talked to them a little bit earlier in June, and I'm glad to have them back up here in the announcer stand once again, as they've made it all the way to Friday night action here at the fair. It's been a jam-packed week so far, but the weekend portion of the fair is kicking off here tonight. That's got to be really exciting. Anna, I turn it over to you.
Awesome, thank you. Yes, it is really exciting to have the weekend of the Sauk County Fair in full swing tonight. Hi everybody, my name is Anna Gerke, your 2026 Sauk County Fairest of the Fair. I am so glad that you all can make it out tonight to the Badger State Truck and Tractor Pull. Thank you again and have a great night.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Millie Marlette, your 2026 Junior Fairest of the Fair, and I just want to wish everybody polling tonight, whether it's a tractor or a truck, a good luck and to stay safe out there.
Now I'll grab that mic and I'll ask each of you a question, because we can't just, I can't let you go without asking one question about the fair. And I'll start with you, Millie, and tell me about the first time that you came to the Sauk County Fair when you were just a youngster. What do you remember about your early years of coming to the fair, and what was so great about it?
I don't remember the first time I came to the fair. I was very young. My mom is one of the many superintendents here, so I've been coming for a very long time, but I always remembered those long days, but yet they were very enjoyable and fun.
That's awesome. And what's the most enjoyable and fun thing about the fair this year, being the Sauk County Fairest, Junior Fairest of the Fair?
Being able to see more of the members and exhibitors showing at the fair and seeing how far they've come and grown through the years.
Awesome, great. And Anna, I kind of asked you the same question. Now, what's your favorite part about the fair so far? You've been involved in a different way this year with the fair, and what's been kind of a highlight for you?
One of the highlights for me is definitely seeing everybody happy and enjoying Sauk County and making the Sauk County Fair what it is. Without the attendees and exhibitors, we wouldn't be able to have a fair, and I think that you guys are just really important attending and exhibiting.
Now, one more thing I'll ask is if anybody is out there, there's young ladies out here considering running for the Sauk County Fairest of the Fair, what went through your mind when you thought about running for the Sauk County Fairest of the Fair? What encouraging words would you give to some of our young ladies out here?
What went through my mind when I found out that I was a potential applicant, I thought this wouldn't be real. Dreams do come true. This dream was a dream for me when I was 5, and this dream is real, and I'm not sure that some days I'm qualified enough, but I have many people saying that I am, and it's just really reassuring when people say, yes, you can do it, you're great at it.
Excellent. How about that? How about everybody a great round of applause for the Sauk County royalty here this evening at the Truck and Tractor Pull. Thank you very much. And at this time, folks, I ask you now if you could please all join me and rise and remove your caps as we pay tribute to the greatest country in the world. Celebrating a 250th birthday this summer, we think back on everyone in the past that have helped make this country so great, and we look forward to all the bright minds that will help lead it in the future. And at this time, it's my honor to hand the microphone over to Chelsea, who returns to the Sauk County Fair this week for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you very much. Chelsea Erickson right there doing the national anthem. And fans, there's a chance for you to go home with some free swag here tonight. The t-shirt cannon is out down in front of the grandstands. And we got t-shirts coming your way. You got to wave your hands. You got to make a little bit of noise. And it's our great friends out there with the t-shirts from the Molitor family, the Red Cadillac pulling team, and Channel Seed out there, as well as looks like, I think Emily down there from the Elsing family pulling team as well with the t-shirt shooter, and she has them launching here now. Fans, wave your hands, make a little noise for our great friends at Channel Seed, bringing you the t-shirts to kick off tonight's event. And a special thank you to the Red Cadillac pulling team from our Pro Stock class. The Molitor family as one is over the roof into the midway. Emily, nice arm. I think she threw that one herself. As we get ready for action, Hot Farm tractors are coming your way. We got t-shirt cannons on both ends of the track. Frank is down there himself on the cannon with the big guns at the trigger. Thank you to Channel Seed and the Red Cadillac pulling team, the Molitor family from Kent, Illinois, up here with the t-shirts and with their partner Channel Seed. There's one to the midway at well. That one's going home with the carnival people. We are just moments away from the start of Badger Tractor Pullers action Friday night at the Sauk County Fair. Could not think of a better place for you to be here tonight than right here with us, as we are going to get the chain tight with Sean Schroeder. He's going to be our first puller of the night. Coming out of Waterford, Wisconsin, Ford 8630. He calls the Blue Viper. Green flag is out. We're ready to go pulling. Fans, are you ready to make some noise? First one down the track, we'll blip of the throttle right at the end. We call it our test puller of the class. The first puller of each class is the test puller. That means a test for the puller. They have the option to keep it or turn it down. It's a test for the sled to check their sled setting also. And then we look for both of them to accept, or one or both to decline that, and we move on to the next puller. Only the first puller has that option, as they are the first one to see the track. 322.58 is the distance for Sean Struder and the Blue Viper, as the t-shirts still come your way. A lot of them from our great friends at Channel Seed, and the Molitor pulling family, and the Elsing family pulling team as well. Give them a like on YouTube and Facebook. Yes, t-shirts coming your way. Wave those arms and get your hands up and catch one here tonight. A great way to start our evening on Friday night. Sean, our test puller, is out there, and we get word. He gives the thumbs up to keep the hook, and then the sled says he is set as well. Double thumbs up, good to go. We are moving on. 18 tractors in the Hot Farm category here this evening. You can stay up to date on the results. PullDayLive.com. PullDayLive.com. Track conditions, I think, kind of putting us limited to one track here this evening. So it's a wide one, a wide track, and the pullers can put that orange cone on the starting line anywhere they would like. Yeah, we got a lot of surface and realty to work with. Former points champion in the Hot Farm category out of the state of Iowa will be our second puller to the track. He will move it over closer to the grandstand side. BSTPonline.com, the official website of the Badger State Tractor Pullers, is where you can find the points, standings, and poll results. PullDayLive.com is where you can find the live results for all the events here this season.
I'll show you a test back potty. But Ryan can do stuff.
Mama's Money Reloaded, Bellevue, Iowa. Dominic Holgraver with the green light. Mama's Money Reloaded, 1466 International Black Stripe out here this evening. You can catch the live stream, many live stream viewers already here this evening at the Badger State Tractor Pullers YouTube channel and ProPulling.tv. You can catch the free live stream this evening. You can watch it right on your phone in the grandstands. You can have one phone on the live stream, one phone on the live results, and listen to me just for fun. Dominic Holgraver out there, 312 and 04 is the distance, 312.04, the mark there. My name is Christopher Clark, come originally from Hillsboro, Wisconsin. Glad to be on the microphone here once again at the Sauk County Fair, as I think I've been announcing at the fair. I think it's my 10th year. I don't know. I'd have to count it back, but I'm pretty sure I've made it to the 10-year mark here at the Sauk County Fair, and really proud of that and glad that they have me back here. Darren Van DeZandy is our next puller out of Waupun, Wisconsin. 1466 International, all black, a really nice looking tractor. And Darren 312.04 is Dominic Holgraver's distance, and he had that sled moved over a little bit. Looks like it's going to get shifted over just again as we're going to work that starting line to find the line here tonight. Taking a look at the points standings, we see the Diamond Deere, John Deere out there leading with a tie with the Dozing Through. Ben Hayen and Pat Holmes tied at the top of the point standings here in the hot farm category. These tractors out here on the track are 466 cubic inch engines with a P7100 injection pump supplying fuel to custom billet injectors. And they spin a 3-inch turbocharger on the manifold, one single turbocharger, no intercoolers, so the air comes out of the turbo into the engine. Water injection all over the tractors as well, so they inject water directly into the intake manifold ports. They direct water into the crossover pipe, and they inject water in front of the turbocharger as well on many of the tractors here this evening and trucks. These hot farm tractors are awfully competitive as they have a kind of a limited fuel and air system that they have to run, limited cubic inch, open RPM, and they make upwards of that 1,500 horsepower mark out here on the track. So here's our tractor out of Waupun, Wisconsin, the Cherry Red 1466 International. Darren Van Zandy out of Waupun marches down there to 3:14.99. 3:14 at 9.9 moves him into number 2 with 3 pullers down the track so far. Just getting the night kicked off here at the Sauk County Fair. 4 grandstands here. If you're watching on the live stream, we're glad to have you with us. We are pulling from what I believe is the north headed south. Southeast is the direction we're pulling here tonight. We have the beautiful grandstands, and oh boy, we got the live streamers already correcting the geography on me. And the grandstands, though, however, here are historic grandstands at the Sauk County Fairgrounds. And they've gone through a restoration of the grandstands as well. A lot of great fundraisers have gone to improve the seating in the grandstands, and we appreciate all those efforts. Our next puller out here is going to be Ashley McDonald out of Darlington, Wisconsin. Her Case IH Puma sheet metal tractor's called Still Broke. Still Broke comes in here in a 3-way tie for 5th place in the point standings. Two events only in the points readouts, so things are still close. The hot farm class awfully close in finishing, and the points finishing as well, but throughout the seasons as it goes on, they start to separate themselves in this class as well, and one will gain an advantage and go for a run. Kind of like playing blackjack in the hot farm class. You go on a run for a little while, and then you're cold, and you go on a losing streak that seems to last forever, and somebody else is on a run, charging up the point standings. You can stay up to date on that at bstponline.com, where you can stay up to date on the point standings. Ashley in the seat. This should be her dad, Tony, be trackside as well. He runs a limited pro stock tractor, so a 2-tractor team, father-daughter pulling team, and the whole family involved as well, up from Darlington. A long-time Badger State Tractor Pullers competitor, now a 2-tractor team. Some great senior photos with this tractor as well, and Ashley McDonald, a high school senior, and she gets the green flag out of Darlington. Tractor's called Still Broke. 3:22 and 58 is the leading distance. Right down there in the mix as well. 210 sheet metal, Case IH Puma 210. Like I mentioned, she had to beat 3:22 was the leading distance. Ashley McDonald, 3:13.69. 3:13.69 is the mark. That'll move her to number 3. 3:14 is number 2. And the leading distance, 3:22. Sean Struder and the Ford. The only Ford 8630 in the class. Later on, we'll have a New Holland T7 210. Later on in the class out here, but 2 blue ones, 1 Ford, 1 New Holland. A few John Deere green tractors and a whole lot of red makes up this class of the 466 Hot Farm tractors. Thank you to the platinum level sponsors of the Badger State Tractor Pullers: Hennessy Implement of Dodgeville and Monroe, Kiwami Insurance of Columbus, Nutrient Ag Solutions of Southern Wisconsin, Lemke Motorsports of Helenville, Ritchie Implement of Cobb, Barneveld, Darlington, and Lancaster, your source for all things Case IH. Salama Equipment of Reedsburg, Hillsboro, and their new location in Mauston. Salama Equipment is your #1 trusted source for your John Deere and Steel power equipment needs. Also platinum level sponsors this year jumping on with the Badger State Tractor Pullers in a big way is Holganics. And Holganics is a company based out of Pennsylvania, but they have a heavy presence in the Midwest. Holganics supplies bio-nutritional products. Essentially, it's like yogurt for your lawn. They introduce a lot of great products to be used by lawn care professionals, farmers, and everyday homeowners like yourself. Their products improve soil health and plant vitality, just like their #1 selling product, Bio 800 Thrive, and it uses over 800 beneficial microorganisms to reduce the need for synthetic fertilizers and pesticides, and helps promote stronger roots and healthier plants. Look them up online, Holganics.com, HOLGANIX.com. Our next hot farm is out here, Ben Hayen from Milledgeville, Illinois. Tractor's called Dozin' Through. The Dozin' Through, since he came out on the hot farm scene, been awfully consistent and tough tractors, tied for the point standings after 2 events. Let's see what he has for us tonight on Friday night at the fair. All right, 1066 International, Dozin' Through starts to put these tractors all right in the mix. It's going to be tough to see and judge it by your eye. Great side panel there as well with the Dozin' Through, the 66 series dozer on the side. On the live stream right now, get a nice shot of that McFarland's Implement Kubota skid steer out here. And I mentioned earlier, ton of Kubotas on the property as Ben Hayen's distance comes in at 317 and 94. 317 and 94 is the mark for Ben Hayen. Moves up to the #2 position. And like I mentioned, I was making light of that earlier. The Kubota's out here, 4 for sure. I think 6 altogether there is around the fairgrounds, and bringing up the Fendt equipment for us here as well. And then Turner Farms and Turner Legacy Farms. I think that might be Brandt out there. Turner with the big American flag on the Deputy Transit roller, and he is got the left wrist over the steering wheel on the throttle of the Packer tractor out there. A unique setup here at the Sauk County Fair as well for the track, and they take a little different approach to the track prep and putting it back together. If you're an eagle eye out there at the Badger State Tractor Pullers events, if you're a longtime fan and attendee, you see no scraper tractors out there per se. No scraper tractor is used now at this facility. It is 4 skid steers, and the skid steer rake puts the track back together, and then the roller is out there to roll it back in. And of course the rollers are equipped with water, and they put some laundry detergent in that water as well. A little bit of a secret, not sure if you're supposed to say that or not, but did see that out there, a little additive to the water to help with our track conditions and moisture here. And boy, this track crew really put down a fantastic track here tonight. It's It's going to be big. We got a lot of horsepower to put to it. We're in class number 1 here so far. 18 hot farms are in class number 1. We are on tractor number 6. Steve Alhouse comes to us from Sublette, Illinois, driver of 4450 John Deere. Tractor out of North Central Illinois, Steve Alhouse. Count the front weights on the front of there. I see probably 5 on each side. So a good 500 pounds of front end weight for the John Deere, and that'll give him a distance of 286 and 36. Dead last as they sit right now for the 4450 John Deere, and we pull up the replay up on the big screen down at the starting line of the track. On the replay, you see the front end pretty well planted to the ground, not really coming up at all, and those rear tires not getting maximum traction and bite into the pulling surface, and not able to transfer the horsepower and the weight to the rear tires as well as some of the other competitors, and I think it shows in his distance here this evening. And take a look at this on the starting line. We're going to move the sled, the public enemy out here on the track right now. Going to move him way over to the grandstand side for our next competitor, Tracy Paulson out of DeForest, Wisconsin. And she'll have the sled over there in new territory out here on the track. Again, a single track here tonight instead of dual track, so we have the extra wide track here this evening. A lot of real estate and a lot of chance for the pullers to find their favorite spot on the track. The name of the game here, put the horsepower to the ground, try to pick up as much speed as you can, and go the farthest. That's the only determining factor of the win, is who goes the farthest is the winner. Doesn't matter how fast or how good you look. Doesn't matter if you wave to the crowd as you go by. It's who goes the farthest is the winner. Measured by a laser measurement. A laser measurement gets measured where the sled starts and where the sled finishes at that orange triangle on the front of the sled. That's where we get our distances here tonight. Of course, that sled we talk about has a weight box that sits underneath the cab where the operator sits currently on the starting line. That weight box comes up the rails, puts more weight on the pan that drags on the surface, and that's what puts the weight onto the hitch of the tractor and eventually brings them to a stop out here on the track tonight. That sled's adjusted between the classes to bring all of our competitors to a stop around 325 feet here this evening. So Tracy Paulson out of DeForest, Wisconsin, she's driving her 4255 John Deere. It's called the Diamond Deere. Out here on the starting line now. Where's my Tracy Paulson fans out here in the crowd here tonight? Cheer on, fans! What a run right there. Tracy Paulson tied for the points lead here early on in the season with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Distance comes in on the board 3:06.50. 3:06 and 5 is the mark for the Diamond Deere. That will go number 6 in the current standings. think we'll take a look at the replay where we're going to see the Diamond Deer and Tracy. The tractor starts to drift to the center of the track, and she makes a correction about right in there. Oh, with the right brake turning it to the right. This angle here, you'll kind of see that. Throughout the season, fans, we invite you to get in on the 2026 Badger State Tractor Pullers raffle. This year's raffle is back in action like it was last year. The 50-50 raffle. Tickets are $100 a piece. Maximum tickets sold are 1,000. Only 1,000 tickets sold. $100 per ticket. First place prize is $25,000, second place $15,000, and third prize $10,000. 3 prizes drawn, $50,000 in prize money given away to 3 winners. The drawing is on December 5th at the Badger State Tractor Pullers Banquet. You don't need to be present to win, you just need to buy a ticket to get in to the drum of tickets. The drawing on December 5th, $25K to win. 3 prizes, $50,000 total given away in this year's 50-50 raffle with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. You can see one of the pullers or one of the crew members to purchase your tickets, or maybe message the Facebook page if you want to get in on the 50-50 raffle this year. Lee Ruff will bring a different color to the starting line. 2 green ones in a row. Now we go back to the red out of Darlington, Wisconsin. Tractor's called Still. Tractor's called Fair Warning, out of Darlington, Wisconsin. Lee Ruff is the competitor, and Lee's back in that same starting line position where we've seen the Diamond Deer start out at. Not a happy result for the Diamond Deer, so we'll see if Lee Ruff will have a better distance over on the grandstand side of the track. Take a look at how far he has gone, trying to judge it by the white lines on the side of the track. And he lets the tractor drift towards the center, and I think that is going to pay off for him here as he looks through that 3-ball roll cage.
315.170.
Lee Ruff and Fair Warning will end up at 315.17. 315.17. Lee Ruff going to crack the top 3 in the hot farm category. Change in the leaderboard. He'll crack the top 3, 315 and 17. Ben Hayen, your current leader, at 317 with the dozing through. He's sitting number 2, and Sean Struder is your current leader, 322. Our next few drivers of the class, Warren Loopborough will come up next. Riley Brining and Tony Sheen will be our next 3 hot farms in the class. Limited Pro Stock tractors are the next class to the track. Then Super Modified 2-wheel drive trucks, Pro Stock tractors, and Pro Stock diesel trucks to round out the night. That's our class order here this evening with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Warren Loopborough out there now, then Riley Brining will be out on the track for the first time this season. Out of Prairie du Sac, Wisconsin, Tony Sheen, then Mike Loopborough. So the tractor number 2 from the tractor number 1 from the Loopborough is still fueling around, is out there now. Then they got 2 tractors in between them to maybe share some data. Out of Milton, Wisconsin, Case IH Puma Sheet Metal. Still filling around the Case IH Puma 210, same sheet metal as Ashley McDonald's tractor. Distance of 3:01 and 15 for Warren Loofborough, and he tiptoed right down that right-hand side of the track as well, as about halfway through the class, and still favoring the right-hand side of the track, although not been the best to some of the pullers as far as their distance goes. The center of the track so far has been the place to be. Sean Suter, the first puller of the class, charging right down through the center of the track, and he had a choice to keep it or turn it down. He kept the hook of 322 and 58, and nobody's been able to touch him since. Big thank you to our platinum level sponsors, Hennessy Implement of Dodgeville and Monroe, Kwame Insurance, Nutrient Egg Solutions, Lemke Motorsports, Ritchie Implement, Organics, and Slama Equipment. As Riley Brining out of Prairie du Sac, Wisconsin, rolls onto the track with the almost hometown puller, Drunk and Confused. And Riley and Matt share the driving duties of Drunk and Confused, and Drunk and Confused just got up and running about a week or so ago. Some new stuff under the hood to freshen up, and got things ready to go. For this tractor here competes with PI Motorsports throughout the summer, makes a few Badger State tractor puller stops, and this will be their first hook of the year. So I imagine Riley Brining a little bit nervous as he puts the 5-point safety harness on. And I try not to say anything too bad about him, as he's one of my co-workers, so I imagine Monday morning would not be pleasant for me if I say the wrong thing about him right now. Tractor's called Drunk and Confused. Out of Prairie du Sac, Wisconsin, Riley Brining at the wheel. Here's my Drunk and Confused people out here tonight. Riley Brining drives off the track, gets to start to get plagued by the bounce, and that takes the tractor a little bit of a bounce to take some distance away, and gets under the turbo as a result as well. 281 and 80 is the distance. 281 and 80 is the mark for Riley Brining. First pass down the track. I would imagine they don't have it set exactly on kill and the motor. First one down the track. .281 and 80 for Riley Brining, and if Riley's wondering, that's last place so far, so it's last place for Riley Brining, just in case he's wondering. Too bad he gets the bounce out there, and that's one of the things that can go south for you. There's many things in tractor pulling that can go right. There's many things that can go wrong, and tire pressure, weight from front to back, where you put your weights. If you have your water injection right, if you got your hitch height where you want it. And with 18 tractors here in the class, it is a toss-up on who's going to be in the top three any given night.
No, points, or does it just points across? Come out there and hook, which he can if his
Tony Sheen is out here right now out of Fox Lake, Wisconsin. 966 Black Stripe calls it Swiss Miss. Great looking 966 International, the Swiss Miss. Another Hot Farm tractor on the right side of the track, not getting the distance they want. A tough break out there for an awesome looking black stripe. Yeah, and I know that we take a look at the orange cone. We got our next competitor standing there, and that orange cone is not concreted to the ground. It is able to be moved by the competitors, but it comes at a risk. It's a gamble. If you switch completely to the other side of the track, it's a gamble. It's a 50-50 shot if that pays off or not. A lot of times you want to go where the winners are going, and right now the winners are not going down the right side of the track. 297 and 45 for the Black Stripes, Swiss Miss 966 International. And just get word to radio traffic, Rich Suter, who also has a Black Stripe International. I see him in the pit area just taking his fire suit off, helmet off, and tractor is back at the trailer, and that's a tough break for a 2026 rookie in the Hot Farm category. Turbocharger doesn't sound right, doesn't feel right when they started the warm-up after the scale, and he's back at the trailer. We're going to skip over driver number 14 here on the list. Our next driver will be Mike Lufborough out of Milton, Wisconsin. The Case IH Puma just fueling around is the tractor. Tomorrow night at the Lafayette County Fairgrounds, Darlington, Wisconsin. The Badger State Tractor Pullers are in action tomorrow night on the schedule, and that'll be round number 3 of the Pro Stock Triple Crown. Right here tonight, all you fans get to see stop number 2 of the Triple Crown out here this evening for the Pro Stock class. July 17th, the Badger State Tractor Pullers will be in Monroe, Wisconsin for the fair. July 22nd in Monticello, Iowa, during a weeknight pull at the fair in Monticello. And Mazomanie, July 24th. Edgerton, July 25th. Oshkosh on July 31st. So a stretch of pulls starts here over the next 2 to 3 weeks for the Badger State Tractor Puller season. The last pull of the year will take place in Viroqua, Wisconsin this year for the Vernon County Fair. Greene County Fall Nationals date September 12th in Monroe, Wisconsin. Green flag is out, just fueling around. Mike Lufborough. All right, tough break there as he starts to shoot past the 300-foot mark. Obviously, he found some traction out there, and it pulled down the RPMs enough to snuff out the turbocharger. Get under the boost, and you see all the white smoke, raw fuel start to boil out of his exhaust pipe as he fires it back up, brings it all the way down to a stall out. Another Puma 210 sheet metal tractor out here in the Hot Farm class. 305 and 1-2 is the distance for Mike Lufborough. 305 and 1-2 is the distance as we're in our first class of the night. Glad to have all of you people here with us here tonight, and great to see all the kids and all the fans with us this evening for a great night of pulling action. And a reminder, it's a chance for you to get involved with the Badger State Tractor Pullers by emailing some artwork for the 2027 American Family Children's Hospital event t-shirt that happens right here at the Sauk County Fairgrounds next June. You can design a t-shirt design with trucks and tractors on it and email that to the Badger State Tractor Pullers at gmail.com and be part of the selection process for next year's limited edition t-shirt. Thank you to the diamond sponsors of the Badger State Tractor Pullers: Budweiser, Rink Seed, Sussex Machine Company, Didion Milling, Moser and Associates Insurance Services, Gallett's Grading, Compeer Financial, Insight FS of Jefferson, Wisconsin Custom Operators of DeForest, and K&M Sales and Service. Eric Wittenkamp out here down from Manitowoc, Wisconsin. 1466 International Blackstripe is what you see coming down in front of you. The tractor's called the Steel Bull. He starts about center of the track, and he's the first one to try over on the left side. Clutch slips a little on him on the finish line. 3:02 and 5:1 is the mark. 3:02 and 5:1. First tractor out here to show me what the left side of the track's like, and it's not any better than the right side apparently here. 3:02.51 is the distance for Eric Wittenkamp out of Manitowoc, Wisconsin, the far northeast part of the state. And glad to have Eric traveling down for the Badger State Tractor Puller season with the Steel Bull. Our next competitor is going to be Rod Hogan from Broadhead, Wisconsin with the Hustlin' Harvester. As unfortunate breakage for Rich Suter out of Stoughton, Wisconsin. The tractor called Overfield International, a rookie out this season, and having some breakage in the staging lanes for us. Not going to make it out here for competition, so we'll move over to Rod Hogan out of Broadhead, Wisconsin in the Hustlin' Harvester. Brandon Bonenstein follows him, Craig Whitaker, and then Cole Meyer will be the last tractor of the class. 4 tractors to go in the hot farm category, and the limited pro stocks will be next to the track. Take a look at that, fans. Put your hands together. The Hustlin' Harvester here tonight, changing the leaderboard. Just thinking he was the winner in Chopir at the last event for the Hot Farm Tractors. He comes out, that was his first event of the season, gets a win, and how nice would he love to have a win out here on his second event of the season for Rod Hogan, Hustlin' Harvester. He goes 3:28.28. New leader! Red International fans, you're at the top of the standings. You got to smile at the blue Ford 8630 of Sean Struder. 14 tractors ago, he was the leading distance. He laid it down 14 tractors ago. The Blue Viper at 3:22 and 5 now sits number 2. Take a look at the board. After the replay, we'll see the current standings as we shake up the top 3 with Rod Hogan out of .78, 3:07 and 7/8. Left to go. Craig Whitaker out of Monroe, Wisconsin, and Kohlmeyer 466 Express out of Monroe as well. 2 Monroe fellas left here in the Hot Farm class. Limited Pro Stocks is the next class here this evening, and there is 8 Limited Pro Stocks to hit the track. Then we have 6 Super Modified 2-wheel drives, 8 Pro Stock tractors, and we round the night with 9 Pro Stock diesel trucks out here this evening. The beautiful looking New Holland T7 210, custom built by Craig Whitaker, and has the black accents on the New Holland. Super Mod 2-wheel drive trucks, the scale is ready for you. 2-wheel drive truck competitors in the pits, the scale is open and ready for you. We see the green flag come out for us on the track as the only New Holland of the class starts to bring up the turbocharger. Tractor's called True Blue, and he's down there in the mix, going to try and crack the top 10 with that run right there. Craig Whitaker out of Monroe, Wisconsin. His distance comes in here at 3:04 and 31. 3:04 and 31. One tractor remaining in the class. You can see the full results at polldaylive.com. polldaylive.com for the live results here of all the events this summer with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Longtime competitor, the 466 Express, through the generations, and now Cole Meyer, the grandkids, have the wheel of the tractor out of Monroe, Wisconsin. Champion in the class as well, the 466 Express. Black Stripe International will tighten the chain. Last competitor, Rod Hogan, late in the class, sets the lead at 3:28 and 2:8. That's the mark to beat. Last tractor in the hot farm. Cole Meyer out here steering the 466 Express down to a good distance. Again, trying to crack the top 10 out there with a distance of 3:10 and 5:1. 3:10 and 5:1 for the last puller in the class. And here's the rundown of the class here as we take a look at the big screen of the replay of the 466 Express as he puts it into 8th place at the run of 3:10 and 5:1 for the first class of the night here at the Sauk County Fairgrounds. We appreciate everybody here making it into the packed house here this evening, and the rundown of the class here this evening. The Hustler and Harvester Rod Hogan finishes number 1 at 3:28 and 2:8. Sean Struder, the first puller of the class, he hangs on for a long time at 3:22 and 5:8 to finish number 2. Ben Hayen and Dozen Through finishes number 3 at 3:17 and 9:4. Lee Ruff finishes 4th place with the fair warning, 3:15 and 1:7. Number 5 to Darren Van Zandy at the 1466 International finishes 5. Ashley McDonald finishes number 6. Dominic Holgraver number 7. Cole Meyer finishes number 8 with the 466 Express. Brandon Bonenstein, number 9. Tracy Paulson finishes number 10. Number 11 to Mike Loofborough. Craig Whitaker, number 12. Eric Wittenkamp, number 13. Warren Loofborough, 14. Tony Sheen, 15. 16, Steve Allhouse. 17, Riley Brining. And 18, Rich Suter. That's your complete rundown of the 9,500-pound hot farm class. Thank you to these local sponsors of the Sauk County Fair. Thank you to our great friends at Aves Paving, Barricade Flasher Services, Boulder Bluff LLC, Central Egg Supply, Luther Farms, McFarland's Retail and Service Center, Meister's Forest Products, Sawdust Designs, Shad Plumbing, Scott Zerzer, Sunrise Veterinarian Clinic, Turner Brothers Farms, Turner Legacy Farms, and WCCU Credit Union, along with Platinum Partners, Action Electric, Consumers Cooperative, Culver's, Fairfield Inn and Suites, Gateway Power Sports, Gavin Brothers Auctions, Jay's Egg and Turf, Jay's Power Center, Nearing Trucking, Pickett Septic Service, Pinion Communications, TNT Custom Concrete, Salama Equipment, 99.7 MMA FM, and the Meat Market, all great local partners of the Sauk County Fair here this evening. As we move into the 9,500-pound limited pro stock class, green flag going to come out for our first competitor of the class, going to be Mike Gerlach, coming out of Stockton, Illinois, with the newly sheet-metaled G-Force out here as our test puller. Limited pro stock tractors. Excellent run out there for the G-Force. Mike Gerlach, Stockton, Illinois, Powers down through there, tries to pull back on the throttle. And he's going to have the sled roll ahead and get him. As he's our test puller in the class, he lays down a run of 3:26 and 21. 3:26 and 21 as the test puller, and he's going to get towed off the track there. Is not going to get it refired. And the Gerlach and the G-Force ride getting an expanded hood area underneath the hood, and the factory width and height 66 series sheet metal. You can see this tractor stands a little taller than like the hot farm tractors we've just been watching, as they've extended the hood wider, taller, longer to fit the big 4.1 inch turbocharger with a big compressor cover underneath the hood. No intercoolers on board, and as we went out here on the track, as they get them towed off, you can see the back of the tractor there. The rear tires are 24.5 wide cut rear tires, wider than the hot farm tractors. These tractors here, 640 cubic inch engines. They run a 4.1 inch inlet smoothbore turbocharger. P7100 injection pump is the limit. Custom billet triple feed injectors, big injection lines, dry blocks, billet cylinder heads, water injection and fuel for power out here in the limited pro stocks. These tractors are upper 2,000 horsepower. Sometimes you hear a number of around a 2,900 horsepower for one limited pro these days. These things have turned on the power. I want to guess maybe these tractors have gained, I don't know, 600, 800 horsepower since this class began a few years ago. Turbocharger technology, compressor wheel in the turbocharger keeps advancing in technology. Still that 4.1 inch smoothbore entrance, but the wheel fin design meant for maximum power. Bill Smith takes the wheel of the high maintenance out of Darlington, Wisconsin. Bill Smith has a big part in the pull in Darlington tomorrow night as well with the Lafayette County Tractor Pullers. And Bill's tractor out in Jefferson a few nights ago with the alternate driver. And now Bill takes the wheel of his high maintenance John Deere 6030 out here in the limited pro stock class. About ready to put that nearly 3,000 horsepower to work out here at the Sauk County Fairgrounds. John Deere fans, put your hands together. What a monster pass out here, maximum speed on the track. Puts that big block John Deere to work here tonight. Well, he had the steering wheel cranked. We'll see that on the replay, but his distance will come in to 3:44.43. New leader, fans. Second tractor of the class of 8 tractors comes out here with a zinger out here on the track. 3:44 and 43 for Bill Smith. And high maintenance. Big stepping out here in the 401 limited pro stock class. This is going to get interesting here, because coming in number 2 in the point standings, Colin Lear will be the next tractor to hook. And then Chris Feller in the Wild Buck. That's always tough. Here tonight we got Adam Stevens on the slow ride. That thing is hot during the summertime. Aaron Geitzel's here tonight with the Case 2290. Lane Paulson out of Nebraska returns here to the Sauk County Fairgrounds with Life in the Fast Lane. And then Tony McDonald on the well-spent current points leader, his last tractor in the class. As this is going to be good, fans. Sit back, hang on, grab your brats as quick as you can. This class is going to be stout here tonight. Bill Smith climbs off his tractor back in the pit area. He's got to be just thrilled. Yeah, he is. A fist pump for Bill. That is awesome. 3:44 and 43 going to lead this class here early on. But look out, another John Deere big block getting backed up into the sled now. And this tractor is on a hot streak this early season with the Badger State tractor pullers. This is your winner in Jefferson this week. So already has a win this week, but that was Chris Lear driving. His dad, Colin Lear, the son, now in the driver's seat tonight as Chris Lear is pulling out in Iowa tonight. So Colin has his turn at the steering wheel. Can he get a win?
What's that?
No. He's got to have a big pass right here with the Badger Deer out of Reedstown, Wisconsin, Colin Lear. Colin Lear, it makes a run at Bill Smith. The Badger Deer, the last 2 nights ago's winner, goes 340.38. 340.38 puts him number 2 currently in the position here tonight.
And his dad's
that's where he is. They split the tractors up too. I came in here earlier and I seen the red trailer with the Badger Deer sitting behind it, and I had to ask Colin, I said, why this trailer? Why do you have a red Case IH trailer? And he said, well, Dad's got the light pro stock out in Rock Valley, Iowa this weekend, and he's got the 4-1 here tonight chasing the points as they come in sitting number 2 in the points. Since the benefit poll where they finished in 4th place, they have not finished out of the top 3 since. And they've been on a run with that tractor. A win this week already, but not going to get the win here tonight, but he does sit number 2 early on in a tough class of 4-1 Limited Pros. Staying with the John Deere green theme, Chris Feller rolls out here out of Waterloo, Wisconsin in the Wild Buck, and grab your department food stand, and if you know where the secret checkout is for the brat stand, look for that. And in the pulling track arena side, there's a secret register that you could walk up and get your brat, maybe skip the line.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So SAS.
I'll walk you through. Okay. I'll get it out after the next one.
Wild Buck starts to spool. The massive turbocharger under the hood, over 100 pounds of boost, and massive RPM about ready to hit the track. Chris Feller burns it in. A good chance to remind you over on the pit side, we also have SJS Foundation over on the pit side with food and beverages. Go and talk to those folks. Hot food and beverages over on the pit side. Talk to them about the SJS Foundation and how you can get involved. And next time you're over there getting a bush light. Chris Feller's distance 3:40 and 8.2. 3:40 and 8.2 for the Wild Buck. Moves him number 2 in the standings, just past Colin Lear and Badger Deer. .340 and 8.2, that is up there. As we see the replay of the Wild Buck as he powers down through there, pretty much stays center track, wheels up just right, bounces them a couple times. Muscles his way to the end. Adam Stevens will be up next. 8 tractors in competition. So things are moving quick here. The 4.1 Limited Pros, as far as the national schedule, they're scattered all about the countryside this weekend. Of course, the Fent High Stakes Series with the IHRA Pro Pulling Series event happening tonight.
John Meyer Jr. got second.
And we got results for the 4-1s. John Meyer Jr., the Meyer Performance R&D, got a second place finish. Nick Audette was the winner. Alex Hazard with the Red Express finishes number 3. Josh Dutton down there, number 7. And that's the results for the 9,500-pound class in Benson, North Carolina with the Fenton High Stakes Series. John Meyer Jr. finishing number 2. Yeah, so a top 3 finish for him. And John Coots, he was leading the points going into the Fenton High Stakes Series, and I see he's on number 11 on the results as well. So an up and down early on portion for John Coots and the Diggin' Deer. So if you notice a few of the 4-1s not here in competition tonight, it's because there's about 4 or 5 of the Badger State Tractor Pullers 4-1s pulling in Benson, North Carolina tonight, part of the Fent High Stakes Series, where the winner is $10,000 to win each night in Benson, North Carolina. Adam Stevens out here now, going to get the green flag. Shannon, Illinois, Case IH Puma sheet metal. Tractor's called Slow Ride. Another big rip out here in the Limited Pro Stock class. What a ride. In Benson, North Carolina, another little update. Super Farm tractors are out on the track down there right now. In Benson, North Carolina, the Fritz brothers with the Twisted Deer is currently on the track down in Benson. You can see the live stream of this event, as well as the Fenton High Stakes Series ProPulling.tv. That's where you can catch the free live stream. Watch the action in Benson, North Carolina while you're relaxing in the Sauk County Fairgrounds grandstands. Can't get any better than that. Distance for Adam Stevens, 3:40 and 0:3. 3:40 and 0:3 for Adam Stevens, and the Slow Ride machine puts him number 4.
should say we were told we should call this tractor the marshmallow muscle.
Aaron Geitzel out here out of Heartland, Wisconsin, case 2290. And they whisper in my ear, it's actually called the marshmallow muscle is what they call it. Well, that's what I call it. That's what somebody calls it. That's what we call it now, the marshmallow muscle, case 2290. Aaron Geitzel behind the wheel tonight. The only case in the class. Where's my old school case people? Raise your hands. Where are you at, case people? The true case through and through underneath the hood starts to drift over to the right-hand side of the track. Doesn't quite have that powering center track run that we've seen the other tractors have. Kind of got sucked over to the grandstand side. You get to see that in the replay here momentarily. Again, welcome all the people on the live stream. My fiance Mackenzie watching on the live stream as well, so shout out to her. Shout out to all the other live stream viewers with us here as we're in the second class of the evening. And Aaron Geitzel out there at 317 and 69. 317 and 69. Lane Paulson will be up next out of Kohler Ridge, Nebraska with his John Deere 8R 410. And Tony McDonald will be the last puller in the class with a well-spent current points leader in the class. Bill Smith sitting on top of the standings currently, 344 and 4.3 is his mark. And then we have 3 tractors at 340. Take a look at the big screen where you can see the tractors at 340. 340 and 8.2 is our number 2 tractor, Chris Feller in the Wild Buck. 340 and 3.8, Colin Lear sits number 3 currently. And Adam Stevens and Slow Ride 340 and 03 is the distance there.
Yes, at the benefit pole.
Lane Paulson, he was here for the benefit pole as well, and back out here now to the Sauk County Fairgrounds out of Coleridge, Nebraska. Life in the fast lane, John Deere 8R 410. And they see something not to their liking on the sled, on the chain area. Gives us a chance to thank our great local gold sponsors, Bender Family Farms, DNL Gasser Construction, Driftless Glen Distillery, Fairfield Concrete, HTT Golf Cart Sales and Services, Coons Scenic RV, Napa Baraboo, Premier Insurance Solutions, SSM Health, and Sunrise Property Care. the air kill cable accidentally getting tripped when the tractor rolls ahead and pulls the guillotine shut. That's where you've seen all that white smoke drift out of the top of the exhaust pipe. So the tilt hood comes open for our guest puller out of the state of Nebraska over here for this weekend's events, I'm assuming. Going to be here and then down in Darlington tomorrow night with this tractor. Life in the fast lane. Lane Paulson out of Coleridge, Nebraska, will reset his guillotine. Going to have to slide that back open on the 4.1 turbocharger and refire the tractor as he does that. Another little update from Benson, North Carolina at the Fenton High Stakes Series with the Pro Pulling League. Update on the Super Farm class. The Thumpin' Punkin won the Super Farms, but hey, local Brian Barman gets second place in the Super Farm category in Benson, North Carolina, and Don Slama finishes fourth. So a couple local pullers from Badger State in the top 5 on the national tour in Benson, North Carolina. And here we go with Lane Paulson. Life in the fast lane. He's got to be happy with that, fans. Take a look at that 8R410 John Deere new sheet metal. What do you think of our friend from Nebraska? Baraboo, give him a hand here tonight. Lane, the young man, looks to be in that 340 range. A lot of them stacked at 340. Lane Paulson will end up at 339 and 45. 339.45. Put him number 5 currently.
Maybe like a, find like a man mode version.
339.45 for Lane Paulson. That'll leave Tony McDonald, your points leading tractor, coming into this evening last in the class. And then we're going to make some noise. The Noise Boys are coming out next to the super modified 2-wheel drive trucks. They'll be the next class. Then it is round number 2 of the Triple Crown Pro Stock class. And then Pro Stock diesel trucks will finish out the evening here tonight. We'll look forward to that here this evening. The Pro Stock Triple Crown brought to you by the Jefferson County Fair, Sauk County Fair, Lafayette County Fair, Lafayette County Tractor Pullers, Azalon Bio, Badger State Ethanol, Beck's Hybrids, Elsing Family Pulling Team, F&K Tire Service, Fair Valley Performance, Hennessy Implement, Lemke Motorsports, Matthews Auctions, Sloan Implement, Smith Custom Farming, and Triple D Farms, and Scott Zerzo. Sponsors and contributors to the Pro Stock Triple Crown, where they have $15,000 of bonus money up for grabs at the event in Jefferson, tonight's event and tomorrow night's event in Darlington, as Shane is in the hook for Tony McDonald out of Darlington, Wisconsin. It's called Well Spent. Case IH Puma 210 sheet metal. Ashley McDonald, his daughter, out here earlier with the Still Broke, and this one's called Well Spent. Current points leader in the class. Let's see what he has for us here tonight. Has to beat 344 to beat his brother Billy Smith. Case IH Red. Bill Smith 6030 John Deere is our current leading tractor at 344 and 43. Where's my Case IH red people? Do you think he got him?
3-5.
Tony McDonald, he's going to power down there to 353.2, new leader! And that new leader is going to take the win up to number 1, last tractor in the class. I don't know, if I was on the scorecard, I'd say some would say he left the best for last. And the well-spent Tony McDonald charges to the top of the standings. And that is going to help his points season out tremendously. And Bill Smith, man, he had a monster pass, and here is... Well, he's going to be tickled. Bill Smith, he had a great pass, but Tony McDonald comes down through there. You see the replay as he picks up that speed right away, and he holds the speed all the way down through there. Take a look at this replay on the big screen and on the live stream. Front end up and down a little bit, but locked into the track and stays right there as he's going to take the win. 353, 344. Tony McDonald finishes number 2. The Wild Buck will finish number 3 with Chris Feller at the wheel, 340.8. Colin Lear and Badger Deer at 340.38 will finish number 4. Adam Stevens, number 5. Lane Paulson, number 6. Mike Gerlach, 7. And Aaron Geitzel, number 8. In the limited pro stock finishing order there. Thank you to local fair sponsors as we switch sleds and get ready for two-wheel drive truck pulling action. Silver level sponsors of the Sauk County Fair: Allen Steel Company, AVG Property Maintenance, Baraboo Plumbing, Baraboo Power Equipment, Brute Construction, Comfort Hoof Care, Countryside Portable Buildings and Countryside Auto, Fair Valley Performance, Hackaway Forest Products, Lake Ridge Bank, Midstate Equipment, Minuteman Press of Baraboo, Redland Earth's Funeral Homes, Scott Construction, Supreme Awards of Downtown Baraboo, Teal Plastics, Terry Farms, Terrytown Plumbing, Tricor, Wisconsin Metals, Liberty Flag and Specialty. And thank you to Fox Hill Auto Body, Gyros of G&G Concessions, Hills Wiring LLC, all bronze sponsors, along with Dental Associates of Baraboo, Reedsburg Auto Body, Quip Trip, Mary Max Campground, the Bank of Wisconsin Dells, Straka Meats, Deppy Enterprises, Wisconsin River Title, Square Tavern, Thunderbird Lanes, and Baraboo Fresh Market, all great local fair sponsors. As our super modified blown two-wheel drive trucks come out here on the track, 6,200 pounds is what they weigh, rear cut tires, 1871 supercharged blowers on the top of the V8. Mike Finucane from Camp Douglas, Wisconsin is our first puller, test puller of the class. His truck called Dollars and No Cents. Mike Finucane. Dollars and No Cents. Gonna get backed up a little more square, and it's a fun play on words. Dollars and no cents, like the S sense, not the coin sense. The dollars and no brains. Mike Finucane out of Camp Douglas, long-time two-wheel drive truck and puller. So you could translate his name into I have money and I am very dumb. I have money and I'm dumb. And I have a two-wheel drive truck. That's how you extrapolate the dollars at no cents of Mike Panukin out of Camp Douglas. Our first two-wheel drive going to make some noise, going to want to cover those ears as we wind it up. Dollars and no cents right there. You see him going to lift the tilt, the body hood. Almost Home Bar and Grill out of Clifton, Wisconsin. One of his sponsors helping him out this season. Fiberglass bodies on these trucks. They do a really good job of mimicking the factory bodies. 289.53 is the distance. 289.53 is the mark for our test puller. Thank you to the Platinum level Badger State sponsors, Hennessy Implement, Kwame Insurance, Nutrient Ag Solutions, Lemke Motorsports, Ritchie Implement, Organics, Slava Equipment, and our Diamond level sponsors, Budweiser, Rank Seed, Sussex Machine Company, Didion Milling, Moser and Associates Insurance Services of Monroe, Gallett's Grading, Compeer Financial, Insight AFS, Wisconsin Custom Operators, and K&M Sales and Service, some of our great partners with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Don't forget to get in on the 2026 50-50 raffle. The drawing is held December 5th in Baraboo at the banquet. Don't need to be present to win, but you do need to buy a ticket to get in. $100 per ticket, 1,000 tickets sold. Talk to one of the pullers or the staff. Message the Facebook page, do what you can do to get a hold of one of those tickets. Gives you a chance to win a share of the $50,000 in prize money with the 50-50 raffle with the Badger State Tractor Pullers.
So do I always, if I go in and out of it, I always have to it goes. Once they're done, like back and find
Like if they're marked as completed, go to the current score.
Right.
Ethan Friedrich will come out here now out of New Glarus, Wisconsin. His truck called Foul Play. Chevrolet full body truck. Good run for the Foul Play machine of Ethan Friedrich. Brought to you by Oasis Game Farms. And if you've seen it on the live stream and the big screen roll by, Foul Play with the pheasant on there. It's another nice play in words for the Foul Play. Ethan Friedrich at 300.69, takes over the lead in the class early on. Super modified two-wheel drive trucks in action now. 6 trucks in competition on the list. Tim Deppy hometown puller. Up next, followed by Kyle Timmerman, Scott Nearing, and Travis Hosley, our remaining competitors here in Super Mod two-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Tim Deppy fires up the truck called Old School out of Baraboo, Wisconsin. A throwback to Deppy Enterprises, their heritage here in Baraboo. Tim Deppy and the family go back a long ways here in the town of Baraboo, and you can see the old phone number on the side of this truck still. They call it Old School, their throwback to their heritage here at Baraboo. Tim Deppy, 300.69 is the leading mark. To find results and the up-to-date points results, you can head to BSTPonline.com. BSTPonline.com, the official source for all your official results and point standings. Visit us online also to find our schedule and join us at our next event near you. How about that, fans? Put your hands together. Old School down the track, past the 300-foot mark. Monster effort for him here tonight. Tim Deppy on Old School, 327.21. 327 and 2-1. New leader in the class. New number one. Tim Deppy in Old School sets the mark to beat. He says, come get me. 3 trucks remaining to do it. Kyle Timmerman, former multi-time champion in the Badger State two-wheel drive Super Mod class, will be up next. Kyle Timmerman, Dickeyville, Wisconsin. S10 Chevrolet fiberglass body going to get the green flag. 327 is the mark to beat. They had to beat 327. Kyle Timmerman and Hot and Nasty 329.3 takes over the top spot. He got it done. The Hot and Nasty to the top of the standings, 329.3. And many folks were betting on that one. Somebody's getting a $100 bill out of his pocket to pay up on a side bet. She is going to enjoy that cash, no doubt about that. Yes, she is. See if she can do it again. Kyle Timmerman, Hot and Nasty, takes over the lead, 329.3. Scott Nearing comes onto the track now. He'll be followed by Travis Osley. Scott Nearing has his truck called Overload, another Chevrolet body. All Chevrolet bodies, and then a T-bucket to round out the class here in Super Modified two-wheel drive truck action. Round number 2 of the Pro Stock Triple Crown will be after the two-wheel drive trucks. Don't go anywhere. Round number 2 of the Triple Crown of the Pro Stock class, Midsummer Triple Crown, comes up next. The all-sexy red S10 Chevrolet of Scott Nearing out of Reedsburg, Wisconsin. Has that sled set a little right of center. 329.3 is the mark he now chases. Kyle Timmerman holds with the Hot Nasty at 329. Tim Deppie at 327. And now Scott Nearing. It's his time to rip. I don't know, fans. This is going to be close. Kyle Timmerman at 3:29. I wonder if that lady over there bet the money on this one. Because Scott Nearing out of Reedsburg, Wisconsin goes 3:43. New leader! How about that? The crowd goes wild. Local Scott Nearing on overload. The sexy red Chevrolet S10, 3:33 in 98. 3:33 and 98, the full distance puts them to the top of the standings here in Super Modified two-wheel drive trucks. What a pass out here tonight with one truck remaining. And like you can do at home, you can go over to bstponline.com to see the standings. And that's where we'll find the Timmermans Hot and Nasty leading the points after 4 hooks this summer. And the Timmermans were coming off a win back in Mackville in June. Their last event got a win, 2 wins up in Mackville, so 2 wins in a row. They were hoping for 3 wins in a row. Scott Nearing kicked off the season with a win down in Sauk Prairie to start the season off, and then a 3rd place in Baraboo for the Pulling for Hope event. And he now leads the class here at the Sauk County Fair with 1 truck remaining. Travis Hosley out of New Glarus, Wisconsin, and the Giver the Beans Dodge twin turbocharged V8 engine. Totally different concept out here for a power plant compared to what we've seen so far. Maybe this will be the grand finale where again we saved the best for last, like the limited pro stock class did, where Tony McDonald was the last vehicle and took home the win. Could that happen here? We shall see with the twin turbocharged truck called Give Her the Beans. Travis Hosley. The Oasis Game Farm, Give Her the Beans, twin turboed entry. 2 massive turbochargers hanging off each bank of that engine. Lays down a good run here tonight. 296 and 53 is the distance. 296 and 53 for Travis Hosley. And that should conclude the
I was telling you, like, he's not.
Oh, so what did I do?
That's okay. We can delete him.
Can I delete him?
Yeah. Go to the lineups.
Admin lineup? Manage lineup?
The Triple Crown comes our way next.
What did they do?
Now the Pro Stock Tractor class. Going to get you the rundown here of the Super Modified two-wheel drive trucks as the sun starts to set here at the beautiful fairgrounds.
Like he was on the spreadsheet, but I don't know.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
Pro Stock Tractors coming your way next. Now is the time to get your popcorn and refresh your bush light as we switch out the sleds and go to night number 2 of the Triple Crown in the Pro Stock class. We'll talk a little bit about that as we see the results for the Super Mod two-wheel drive, where we see Scott Nearing out of Reedsburg, Wisconsin gets the win, 333. 329, Kyle Timmerman, and Hot Nasty finishes number 2. Tim Deppy finishes number 3 at 327 and 2. Ethan Friedrich number 4. Travis Hosley finishes 5, and Mike Panukin finishes number 6. We now turn our full attention to the Pro Stock class. The Pro Stock tractors, they come in here tonight, 680 cubic inch engines, a big, massive 6-inch turbocharger, a billet injection pump, fully custom built billet injection pump, massive injectors, intercoolers, and a lot of water injection. Some of these tractors run almost as much or more water than diesel fuel. Billet blocks in this class, full billet engine, billet center section turbochargers, full billet injection pumps, component rear end tractors, school bus rear ends, fully custom built Pro Stock tractors that'll wind up on the starting line over 5,000 RPM, and coincidentally, nearly 5,000 horsepower is the peak power on a Pro Stock tractor. The cold air through the intercooler getting into the engine, probably 150 or so pounds of boost, if not more. The turbocharger spins over 100,000 RPMs. They spray a lot of water in front of the turbocharger to help cool the compressor wheel blades. They're so thin, they start to peel back and melt at full power. So they spray water onto the inlet of the turbocharger to help cool down the compressor wheel. It actually helps to slow the turbocharger down so they don't overspeed it with the maximum engine RPM they get. This is night number 2 of the Triple Crown, and what that means this midsummer, there's 3 hooks in 1 week for the Pro Stock tractors. So these sponsors come together to put an extra $15,000 of bonus money up for grabs. Tomorrow night, that money gets awarded. Our test puller is Craig Ladway, out of Plymouth, Wisconsin, up near Green Bay. Driver of the Fent called Never Giving Up. It's going to kick the class off. Where are my Pro Stock fans here tonight? Pro Stock people, let me hear ya! Listen to this thing go from 1,500 to 5,000 RPM and watch it belch fire and come to life. Craig Ladway, Never Giving Up. Pro Stock tractor time. Here we go. The Fent Vario 942 Fent is our test puller, Craig Ladwig. Glenn down there trackside, crew chief in here tonight. Boy, we're going to have a good number on the board here to start off the class. 329 and 1-3. 329 and 1-3. Sled is set. Craig Ladway going to keep that hook, and we are underway. And that's going to be he's going to hope that holds. Craig Ladwig sits number 2 in the point standings after the event in Jefferson a couple nights ago. And he kind of had around a top 5 finish for Craig Ladwig this week. Sits number 2 in the point standings. Had a second place finish here at the Pulling for Hope event in Baraboo. This is the 3rd event of the season for the Pro Stock tractor class. And again, they have 3 events this week for the Pro Stocks.
The drop thing. Why down with this, the drop by the bottom. Yep. So I'll show you.
And I'm talking about that the Triple Crown. A big thank you to the folks that helped put the bonus money together. Lafayette County Tractor Pullers, Asdalon Bio, Badger State Ethanol, Beck's Hybrids, Elsing Family Pulling Team, F&K Tire Service, Fair Valley Performance, Hennessy Implement, Lemke Motorsports, Matthews Auctions, Salone Implement, Smith Custom Farming, Triple D Farms, and Scott Zerzo all coming together to get that $15,000 of bonus money. $5,000 to the Triple Crown cumulative winner, then 4, 3, 2, and 1.
That's why, like, if you just refresh your page and download it again. I want to see if, like, you get this one to pop up. And I know we refresh your page.
So the top 5 in the Triple Crown get the money, 5, 4, 3, 2, and $1,000 of bonus money for the competitors that can tough it out through all 3 events. And Wednesday night, round 1 of the Triple Crown, not in attendance here tonight. Out of Tuscola, Illinois, the anger management of Lance Little and Cyrus Wilkie. That tractor not on the list.
So I'm wondering.
Yes, it is. Excuse me, it is here. Yeah, they nudged me. It is here. It's hiding down there at number 6. Jason Molitor on the list. So yes, Wednesday night winner is making the poll here tonight. Lance Little, hooks number 6 in competition. Jason Molitor up now. Josh Blackburn will be up next. Greg Elsing, Cyrus Wilkie, Lance Little, Alex Brinkmeyer, and Dustin Hook. Those are the Pro Stock competitors here as we have a perfect orange sunset on the track here this evening. If you're watching on the live stream, you got a nice high definition view in your living rooms, but we got a spectacular sunset on the Sauk County Fairgrounds as we see the red Cadillac of Jason Molitor, Kent, Illinois, with the green flag out here getting ready to wind up our next Pro Stock tractor coming our way. The red Cadillac muscles down through there with a big sewer pipe for an exhaust pipe coming out the hood. Distance, Jason Molitor in the red Cadillac going to come down through there. Taking over the lead, 3:34 and 2. 3:34 and 2:3 is the distance, Jason Molitor. 3:34.23 for red Cadillac. And again, thank you to the Molitor family pulling team and Channel Seed for the t-shirts to start out the night. After the national anthem, the grandstand side got a whole bunch of t-shirts thrown out there. Red Cadillac t-shirts, Elsing family pulling team, and Channel Seed. I appreciate all that they do for us here this season. Look at that sled getting backed up way down in the corner of the grandstands. This is interesting. This is near where he had the start at the benefit event, Pulling for Hope event here in June. We've seen this tractor roll out for the first time, and the first time driver of a Pro Stock, Josh Blackburn, made his Pro Stock debut here in June on this track in nearly the same starting position. He puts it back there. He's driving the American Regulator. Josh Blackburn out of Blackburn Components, Cuba City, Wisconsin. And he's going to be steering this Pro Stock for the new owners of this tractor for a little while. The owners originate out of California, the American Regulator. And Josh they had an excellent 4th of July video. I don't know if you've seen it. Ryan, did you see the 4th of July video with the American Regulator on Facebook? Because if you missed it, you got to find it. It's hard to find, but you got to find the right people with the American Regulator. They had one smashing 4th of July video where Josh Blackburn powers up the dash. And this dash is about 12 inches long, a big rectangle LED dash on this tractor, and a big American flag and an eagle pops up when you turn the screen on. And this thing's got 4th of July written all over it. The American Regulator with pulling nearly legend Josh Blackburn behind the wheel. He had his pro stock debut. He's been in the seat of a lot of different pulling vehicles over the years. Engine builder Josh Blackburn on American Regulator John Deere. There's a pass. How about it, John Deere people? Put your hands together. Excellent run. The American Crane Rental. John Deere, the American Regulator. John Deere 8370R sheet metal. Josh Blackburn 344.85, new number 1 here in the Pro Stock class. The American Regulator down in the standings in Jefferson one event ago. He was the winner here in Baraboo at the Pulling for Hope event. Took home the top spot on his first time on a Pro Stock. Is now, I believe, 3rd time on a Pro Stock that will help him out. Tied for 3rd place in the standings. 344.85 is his distance here as well early on in the class. A lot of muscle yet to come down through the track, including the brand new Pro Stock for 2026. For many of us here, it'll be your first time to see the brand new Alice Chalmers Pro Stock to the starting line. A lot of color here tonight. We like to see that here in the class. Fendt International. I tell you what, fans, take a look at this in the Pro Stock. This may be one for the history books. We're going to go 7 tractors, almost 6 tractors of different makes and models. We're going to have a International, a Fendt, John Deere, New Holland, Alice Chalmers, and then Case IH. Kind of the same but different. 6 different makes and models in the Pro Stock class here this evening.
I can create an app account here, an app label or something.
That must be something else. Okay.
This is Greg Elsing out of Prairie du Sac, Wisconsin, the New Holland T8 Tomcat with the double stars and stripes on the roll cage. The T8 Tomcat comes in here tonight, number 1 in the point standings, coming off a 2nd place finish in Jefferson, 4th place finish, and Pulling for Hope. Top 3 last night for the T8 Tomcat. Greg Elsing, president, Badger State Tractor Pullers, on the track now. on, people, put your hands together. This is gonna be close.
Hi, how are you? Good, how are you?
Boy, I don't know, come out of the whole shot. He had to get those big rear tires hooked up, and it took a little bit, but it shot out of there at about that 100-foot mark. It was locked in, and he was on a roll. Josh Blackburn in the John Deere was at 3:44 and 85. Greg Elsing, the New Holland, 3:44 and 20. Second place on the standings for the T8 Tomcat, 3:44 and 20 for Greg Elsing and T8 Tomcat. And watch the replay as that comes up. We see him spin, 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 and right there it hooks up, the front end stabilizes, and away he goes. I know that's Jonah Hill Outdoor there with the flash, taking videos. Look up Hill Outdoors on Facebook. Down here getting some video footage here tonight, and of course the live stream action. Thank you all those folks on the cameras here this evening as we see the T8 Tomcat 3:44 and 20. He puts up number 2. You see right there the American Regulator 344.85 in the top spot for tractors of 8 here in competition. And there rolls on another make and model, the all-new, brand new to 2026, the Alice Chalmers D21. You've probably seen it out on the internet. Now you get to see it in person. And boy, does it look good. Cyrus Wilkie out of Waterloo, Wisconsin, D21 Pro Stock. And if you're wondering, no, it's not a 426 block under the hood. It's not a 301. It's not even a Buddha 262. It's all billet underneath the hood for Cyrus Wilkie, Waterloo, Wisconsin. Tractor's called Blackjack. And he's here part of the Triple Crown with the Pro Stock tractors. Night number 2 of the Triple Crown. Tighten up the chain. How about a hand raise out there in the crowd? Survey the crowd. How many Alice Chalmers diehards are here tonight? Where's our Alice Chalmers diehard people? We hear you. Cyrus Wilkie driving Blackjack here tonight. All right, how about that? That one's turned up here tonight, folks. Put your hands together. Maybe witnessing history tonight, seeing probably the first ever D21 Pro Stock go down the Sauk County Fair track. Monster pass on Blackjack. Shakes the grandstands on the pit side. You guys on the pit side stands, you felt that. The whole anger management team sitting there, they felt it. Rumble in the seats as that one went by. A little different sound to the D21. Distance comes in for Cyrus. 340.69. 340.69. He's about 4 feet short of the lead. That'll put him number 3. 340.69. 9 for Blackjack. And boy, from a distance, that thing is awfully factory looking. D21, a lot of time and detail put into that tractor. I hope someday you get a chance to see that one up close, especially you orange people. Got to see how they put together that replica D21 and fit that to a Pro Stock with a big 680 cube engine under the hood, nearly 5,000 horsepower rocking and rolling underneath that big square sheet metal. That puts us over halfway through competition in the Pro Stock class. Wednesday night's winner will come up next, Lance Little. He's going to be next to run. And again, we have to thank our sponsors adding in the $15,000 bonus money: Lafayette County Tractor Pullers, Azalon Bio, Badger State Ethanol, Beck's Seeds and Beck's Hybrids, Elsing Family Pulling Team, F&K Tire Service, Fair Valley Performance, Hennessy Implement, Lemke Motorsports, Matthews Auctions, Sloan Implement, Smith Custom Farming, Triple D Farms, and Scott Zerzo, all supporting the Pro Stock Triple Crown. And Lance Little out here going to put that tractor down near that same position as Josh Blackburn. Tighten up the chain out of Tuscola, Illinois. Tractor's called Anger Management. Driven by Lance Little.
Tuscaloosa is a city in west central Alabama.
Has one win this week already. Round number 1 of the Triple Crown winner on the starting line. Who thinks it can go 2 for 2 on the leaderboard? John Deere people, cheer him on. The legendary Lance Little on Anger Management. Oh boy, Anger Management. Anger Management has 12,000 pounds of weight in the box, transferring up to the front. And he drove that thing from corner to corner. Look at the tracks. Look at those McFarland's Implement Kubota skid steers going slant across the track. Went from right to left on Anger Management. And the distance is going to come in. This is going to be close. Was it the right call or not? Lance Little, Tuscola, Illinois' distance is going to come up 3:42.41 for Anger Management. Cracks the top 3. How about it, fans? John Deere people, top 3 finish. 3:42.41 is the official mark for Lance Little. 3:44.8 is the leading mark. Josh Blackburn on American Regulator, 3:44.2 is going to be second place. You'll see that up on the live stream. Write these down because I hope you're watching on the live stream. I'm glad you're watching here in person, because how cool would it be if for somehow Josh Blackburn can hang on to get 2 wins in a row in Baraboo. 2 tractors left. Yeah, they're good ones. The legendary Foolish Pleasure up next, and then Dustin Hook rounds out the Pro Stock class and night number 2 of the Triple Crown. And yes, 344 and 8, 344 and 2, and 342 and 4 on the current top 3 up on the big screen. How do we survey the crowd here? How many fans were here for the Pulling for Hope event? Raise your hands if you were here in June in the fairgrounds. Raise your hand if you were with us in June. You got to see quite a few. You got to see Josh Blackburn win the Pro Stock class. And on his first ever Pro Stock attempt that I know of. And he's leading the class now. Will you get to see him win again, or will it be Case IH Red out there, number 1? Alex Brinkmeyer gets the call at the steering wheel tonight from the Foolish Pleasure team, coming up from Warren, Illinois. And this thing's been on TV. It's been at many national events, many wins over the years. The Foolish Pleasure. Alex Brinkmeyer. Case IH MX 255 gonna build the boost. I don't know, Case IH people, you gotta love it. Just when we thought Josh Blackburn and the John Deere had it in the bag, we see the red one come down here. A Foolish Pleasure, a legendary. And Alex Brinkmeyer, he had a big run on Wednesday night. Belches the fire right out of the exhaust wheel of the turbocharger. This one is going to be good. 340 something is going to come up on the board. 344 he had to beat. Foolish Pleasure. Monster pass at 348.57. New leader. What a statement pass by Foolish Pleasure right there. 348.57 is the mark for Alex Brinkmeyer. Puts him number 1. And the replay there powers through. Pulls back on the stick on the throttle right near the end. Coming at you on the front view camera here. And take a look at that beautiful black diesel smoke. Pulls out of the throttle. You see the boost getting discharged out of the front grille. All that 150 some pounds of boost comes out the front, burns in the tires, has that cool dirt heated up and steam coming off the tires at the end. And 348.57 is now the mark to beat with 1 left to go. Case IH Red. 2 red tractors in the class.
I was just curious, like
3 green tractors. 1 Fendt, 1 New Holland, 1 Alice Chalmers here in the Pro Stock class this evening. Dustin Hook, Thompson, Illinois, comes onto the starting line now. His tractor called Playin' Hooky. Wide frame John Deere hood sits here. Our final Pro Stock on night number 2 of the Triple Crown. Here the Midsummer Sweep. 3 events in 1 week for the Pro Stocks.
Like if somebody says
Dustin Hook, Thompson, Illinois, playing hooky, has the green flag. Fans, sit back and watch. Will it be red? Will it be green on the top of the standings here tonight? Well, that took some muscle. Fans, put your hands together for the Pro Stock tractors here tonight. Let them all hear ya, Baraboo!
Yeah. So like, look at.
Dustin Hook playing hooky. Another distance in the 340s. So just so you know, the Foolish Pleasure's at 348.5. That's Case IH Red. How many Red fans think he has the win? Where's my Red people at tonight? Let them hear ya. All right, we can do it with green. How about green people for Dustin Hook? Where's my green people at? So 348 and 5.7 is the red distance. Dustin Hook, he only goes 348.8 to get the win. Dustin Hook is your winner.
Paid up, Ron.
What a finish in the Pro Stock class, and what a replay. 348.08 for Dustin Hook. Last tractor in the class in the limited Pro Stock. Last tractor in the class right there in the Pro Stock. Look at that view of Dustin Hook coming at you. What a monster pass. One class left this evening. The 7,800-pound Pro Stock diesel trucks will round out the night. Just finish up night number 2 of the Pro Stock Triple Crown, and Dustin Hook playing hooky is your winner, 348 and 8. And Alex Brinkmeyer, Foolish Pleasure, drops down to number 2 after a spectacular run at 348.5. Josh Blackburn on American Regulator, who assumed he could get a second win here in Baraboo, finishes number 3 at 344.8. T8 Tomcat at 344.2. Greg Elsing finishes number 4. And Lance Little on the Anger Management John Deere at 342.4 finishes number 5. And then Cyrus Wilkie 6. Jason Molitor and Craig Ladwig in the Pro Stock class. Well, one more time, we thank.
Do you have a way to look to see how many people are actually have the full day live?
Thank you to local sponsors: Abe's Paving, Barricade Flasher Services, Boulder Bluff LLC, Central Egg Supply, Luther Farms, McFarland's Implement, McFarland's Retail and Service Center, Meister's Forest Products, Sawdust Design, Shad Plumbing, Scott Zerzo, Sunrise Veterinary Clinic, Turner Brother Farms, Turner Legacy Farms, WCCU. Those are all our great diamond partners with the Sauk County Fair. Pro Stock diesel trucks come up next. They run a 3.6-inch turbocharger, 460 cubic inch engines, P-pumps on board, single turbocharger, 7,800 pounds, cut tires front and back. Our first puller, Trent Powell, will be the test puller. His Gen 2 Dodge. It's called the Ranch Hand. Trent Powell hails from Escalon, California, resides here in southern Wisconsin during the summertime. purchased this truck from the East Coast. I believe the ranch hand comes out here to Trent Powell for the 2026 season, and they're the Powell family, part of the American Chaos, Super Farm John Deere, and the American Regulator Pro Stock from the Powell family out of Escalon, California. And Trent's going to be the test puller. Diesel truck fans, are you with me? Where's my diesel truck fans here tonight? Cheer them on, let's party! The American Crane rental-backed ranch hand backs out of the throttle, violent bounce, stays in it to see if it comes out of it. It does not. And some spare parts on the track too, bouncing out of the truck. Levi Kinchy, Sauk County's own Levi Kinchy, here tonight doing all the unhooking. Pulling's #1 fan in the world. Trent Powell going to drop his hook as the test puller, so he has that option. He's going to exercise it. The first one here tonight that's going to turn down the first effort. Of course, things are hot. The clutch is warm. At that point, he backs out of it, and we're going to reposition the public enemy back out here for the sled for the Pro Stock diesel trucks. And that means Ryan Diedoff out of Janesville, Wisconsin with the Rock Diesel Chevrolet will be our first distance to hit the board. 9 trucks in competition. Ryan Diedoff next. Joe Wiltsey is here. Sean Pooler, Trent Van Heusen, Ben Abbey, Jared Ripp, Chris Lemke, and Cole Faber all in competition here this evening as the fair rides glimmer in the background here at the Sauk County Fair. Hope you get a chance to hit the midway on your way out, and that spinny thing that makes many of our, the older personnel around here like myself sick to your stomach on would be a great view of the track here tonight. So an update on the Triple Crown after night number 2. We tabulate some quick results up here, and basically how it works is it kind of goes off your placings, and the top tractors in the tally is going to be Greg Elsing and Lance Little at a tie for the top money positions. Dustin Hook 1 point back. He'll sit technically 3. And Josh Blackburn, American Regulator, would be next. The Red Cadillac, Foolish Pleasure, Never Giving Up, and then Blackjack. Those are the order so far. The current standings of the Triple Crown. So Greg Elsing, T8 Tomcat, Lance Little, and Anger Management, 6 points to their name. They're tied to the top of the Triple Crown standings going into tomorrow night. Ryan Diedoff for the Rock Diesel sponsored High Country Chevrolet out here now. See what he has for us. Fire under the hood. You're going to pop that tilt hood as the turbocharger tosses its cookies. Oil fire on the top of the engine for the Rock Diesel entry, and he was on a roll. He was able to drive through the bumps. The replay is going to show us a good view of this one, but first you get a A great side view of that power plant. Cummins powered High Country Chevrolet fires out. He'll put that tilt body back down. Utica Seed Company helping him out in the 2026 season, along with Pakes engine and Rock Diesel, and they get a tow off heading their way. And the replay is going to dial it in. You see that replay there as we slow-mo that in. Right there is where the turbocharger lets loose. You see a couple puffs of white smoke shoot out of there, and then the oil fire pursues. And right there he sees it through the clear firewall. And as soon as that truck stops, you're going to see that tilt body start to come up and lets the safety crew come in there and do their job. 3:29 and 4:1 is the distance. He coasts to 3:29 and 4:1. The smoke is great until right there, the turbocharger grenades. That's a great view of the action there. You can see through the grill of the explosion. So carnage out here at the end of the track for Rock Diesel of Milton, Ryan Diedoff. Not what he likes to see out here tonight on a pass. Thank you to our great Badger State Trash Pullers partners, Organics, Salami Equipment, Ritchie Implement, Lemke Motorsports, Nutrient Ag Solutions, Kwame Insurance, Hennessy Implement.
Gotcha. Yeah.
All great platinum level sponsors.
I know. And it just seems to be talked about the owners, like, especially at the end of tracks. Like they have barriers. There's people that are
Joe Wiltsey, Maple Park, Illinois, driving their relentless Ford up next. What a monster pass there under full power start to finish for Joe Wiltsey, Maple Park, Illinois on Relentless. Monster distance out here at 3:46.06. 3:46.06 as we see our first truck down here, full power down the whole length of the track. 3:46.02, and then we get word from trackside. Our next truck, Sean Pooler out of Johnson Creek, truck called Endgame, and it's the end of his game here tonight. Broke in the staging lanes, not going to roll onto the track here this evening.
Lori said they were hit the track.
She told me a while ago they were real quick. I just wanted to let it play out with Dawn, so I didn't say anything.
Sean Pooler not going to make it to the track, so we move to Trent Van Hoosen out of Stockton, Illinois. He's going to be next in competition with a truck called Migraine. And then Ben Abbey with his new truck. Jared Ripp, Chris Lemke, and Cole Farber to round out our evening. Thank you to our great diamond sponsors, Budweiser, Rank Seed, Sussex Machine Company, Diddy and Milling, Moser and Associates Insurance Services of Monroe, Gallups Grading, Compeer Financial, Insight FS, Wisconsin Custom Operators, and K&M Sales and Service, great partners of the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Follow us along on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Stay up to date with all the action at bstponline.com as well. And of course, follow us for the up-to-the-minute live results at pollday.com. Polldaylive.com is the website for live results. If you're not able to make it to night number 3 of the Triple Crown tomorrow night, you can stay up to date with the live results and see who wins the Triple Crown. Will it be Lance Little or Greg Elsing, who are tied at the top of the Triple Crown standings?
30 minutes off. Normally, it probably would have reset.
Trent Van Hoosen, Stockton, Illinois, with the Migraine ride. A little different setup here for this season
It's weird that it's 30.
on the Migraine. See what he could put together here tonight. 3:46.06 is the mark to beat. .304 and 34 is the distance for Trent Van Hoosen, and that is a rough, bouncy ride for Trent Van Hoosen as he stays in it, puts the power to the ground. That Duramax power plant growling all the way down through there. And the replay, you can see just how violent it gets. Current standings come up on the board, and distances all over the place here so far with our first 5 vehicles. Some rough runs. They were really tricky on that starting line, moving things around a little bit. But here we go with Ben Abbey. Truck called Indecisive out of Freeport, Illinois. Now in the seat of a Dodge. A longtime puller of the Duramax Charismatic Killer moved up through the ranks. Chad Freitag, former owner of the truck, then Ben Abbey at the wheel. Now has moved on to inline 6 Cummins setup. Yeah, boy, he's had some good runs this summer already for the Indecisive, and that's where the name comes from. He's a Duramax in V8 person at heart, and now the 6-cylinder, and they're going to move him over on the starting line to try and get him a little straighter to the sled. And they do that. It's important to a lot of folks out here that they are backed up straight. So when they pull the hook from the sled, the hookup man will pull the chain forward and drop the hook. You want to have him going straight with the chain. If that chain has to move left or right to drop the hook, that means that you have to move the sled side to side before it goes forward if you're not backed up straight to the sled. That takes away momentum. That could take away some inches. And that's why it's important. And he's got it right now. Ben Abbey on his Dodge called Indecisive. Excellent run for the Dodge fans here. 346 is the mark to beat by Joe Wiltsey. That is out there a ways. We might be there. We might be in the upper 380s. .43 is the mark. 336.43 for Ben Abbey. Moves him comfortably into the number 2 position with 3 trucks remaining, and then Trent Powell, who dropped his first hook, will finish the class of Pro Stock Diesel Trucks. Joe Wiltsey still sits out there number 1, and that's important for him because when it comes to the point standings, he is leading the points charge. 5 events so far in the season for the Pro Stock Diesel Trucks. Joe Wiltsey last weekend getting a 2nd place finish. That's where Ben Abbey got his win. Our truck who just pulled, Ben Abbey picking up the win in Chaupier, the last event.
I wonder if also parking here, space for cars.
Greg Stranley out of hand.
They've never talked about that. I think they lost.
He had gotten a win this season up in Macville, and his trucks are not here on the property, so missing the 2 Stranley trucks here tonight. That'll change the points landscape a little bit.
No, I just,
Something went not great, and I don't know what it was.
Green flag is out. Jared Ripp out of Dane, Wisconsin. the Farmer's Nightmare Dodge. Now there's a run, fans. Put it together who lead the class. Jared Rip, everybody.
That's the risk with the accent. It can hit it.
Right.
And then
Right.
or
No. I know they ended up getting a lot of grant money when
The DeKalb entry, Farmer's Nightmare, Jared Rip, and he's has some crop yield records here in Wisconsin. He's been on the high performers list when it comes to corn and soybean yields. Jared Rip has been a great farm family over in Dane, Wisconsin, and he's going to like his efforts here tonight. With the Farmer's Nightmare, Jared Rip, he's going to go 3:47.8. New leader in the truck class here tonight, fans. Does it by about a foot and a half. Almost 2 feet over Joe Wiltsey's the Relentless. 3:46 was that distance, but boy, that replay, picture perfect, nice and smooth. No bobbles. Plants those rear tires into the dirt. Front tires scratching for all they can. You can really see the smoke when he goes full throttle on that front view camera. Coming right at you, Farmer's Nightmare. John Deere equipment back on the farm, so you got that signature green glow underneath the hood. Bit of a bobble right off the starting line, but since then it was smooth sailing right to the top of the leaderboard for Jared Rip. 3:47 and 8:4. We now take a look at the top three. Relentless down to number 2 at 3:46 at 06. Ben Abbey knocked down to number 3 at 3:36. And Ryan Diedoff in the Rock Diesel entry with a blown turbocharger at the end of his run sits number 4, hoping he can stay into the top 5 with 3 excellent trucks remaining, including this one here, past champion. Always a serious top contender at each event right here whenever he rolls in with this truck, but different driver behind the wheel here tonight. Chris Lemke doing the driving of Thicker Than Blood out of Sandwich, Illinois. Josh Stahl, a normal driver, Thicker Than Blood.
so. But yeah, I haven't seen it since.
Chris Lemke in the seat. Chris Lemke was out May 30th in Sauk City with the truck called Therapy Session. And then he did have it here in Baraboo, but since then has not seen the track with his truck called Therapy Session. He's driving Stahl's Thicker Than Blood. Currently sitting number 3 in the point standings is the black Gen 2 Dodge. Chris Lemke driving the thicker than blood out here tonight to a distance of 3:30.83. 3:30.83 is the mark for Chris Lemke with the truck out of Northern Illinois. Not quite going to crack the top 3. That puts him number 4 currently. Kind of a similar run to Jared Ripp, except the bounce on the starting line lasts a little longer and a little bobble around that 300-foot mark. Doesn't quite get him down to the position he's really looking for, the number 1 spot. We'll finish number 4 with that run. 2 trucks remaining here for tonight's Truck and Tractor Pull on Friday night. Live music on the big stage in front of the grandstands happens here tomorrow night. Come on back for that. And then Sunday, last day of the fair. Going to tighten up the chain with the blue Chevrolet out there. Out of Lamoille, Illinois, Cole Faber. Truck's called the Rumor. And if he wants to make the rumor true, he has to go farther than 3:47.8 to get the win. Jared Ripp, current leader on the Farmer's Nightmare, 3:47.8, the mark to beat for our last 2 trucks of the class. All right, this will make it interesting here, folks. Cole Faber is in the hunt here for a top 3 spot. Cole Faber in the rumor, he's going to end up at 3:35.97. 3:35.97. I don't think it will, and it will not put him to the top 3. That'll put him number 4. That'll move Chris Lemke and Thicker Than Blood down to number 5. So figuring out that starting line, trying to get it hooked up and under control as quick as possible is going to be the name of the game for the ranch hand to come through here and spoil the win for Jared Ripp. They're all pretty much taking that same line down the track to see if they can hook up all 4 tires. The only class here tonight with all 4 wheels engaged on the track. One left to go. A big thank you to all of us fans out here on both sides of the track that's sticking it out from front to finish. Glad that if you were here from the beginning to the end, well, what job well done to you for sticking it out the whole night here and catching all the action of the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Hope you can visit bstponline.com to find out where the next event will be. And come see us again. A lot of summertime left to come out and see some great pulling action again. Some other local events coming up to the area. Mazomanie, July 24th, has a great event if you haven't seen that one yet. Or you could head north July 31st up to Oshkosh, Wisconsin. If you want to take a trip to Iowa, the only Iowa event on the tour for the Badger State Tractor Pullers in Monticello, Iowa. At a great fair in Monticello, July 22nd. The Hillsboro Charity Tractor Pull returns August 14th and 15th with a mix of Pro Pulling League Champions Tour events and the Badger State Tractor Pullers there as well. New this year, 3 sessions of pulling action August 14th and 15th in Hillsboro.
He's a rookie driver. Is he? And he only knows go both rounds. Yeah.
Trent Powell back out here at Escalon, California, owner of the Ranch Hand.
Great.
The truck stays in the Midwest, touring with the Badger State Tractor Pullers.
Live in the area.
The Ranch Hand, Trent Powell, see what he can do here this time around. Well, the Ranch Hand is powered down through there. Last truck of the class night here tonight. Again, thank you for joining us here this evening. We're going to get the full results out to you. The Ranch Hand struggled the whole way down to plant those tires. Still going to be a great distance. That truck is stout from front to back to power down through there like that. Still ends up at 3:38 and 49. 3:38 and 49 for the Ranch Hand. That'll put him number 3 with a kind of a rough ride the whole way through. Awesome to see Trent Powell finish number 3 here in the class. Take a look at that replay. A bouncy way down the track trying to get those all tires to hook up equally. Without that bobble on the starting line, kind of like he hit a speed bump at around that 75-foot mark that kind of really upset the truck further just as soon as it was starting to settle in. Jared Rippin, Farmer's Nightmare, going to get the win, 3:47 and 8. Joe Weitzel on Relentless, number 2 at 3:46 and 06. And the Ranch Hand of Trent Powell will finish number 3 at 3:38. Ben Abbey finishes number 4 at 3:36. Cole Faber finishes 5. Chris Lemke 6. Ryan Diedoff 7, and number 8 Trent Van Heusen, 9 Sean Pooler. Thank you everybody for joining us here tonight at the Sauk County Fair. We hope that you maybe get to join us tomorrow night for the third running of the Triple Crown in the Pro Stock class. If you can't make it there, join us on the live stream once again. If you're watching the live stream tonight, thank you for tuning in to watch the Badger State Tractor Pullers action here tonight, and we hope to see you again on that live stream tomorrow night, 6 p.m. start time in Darlington. Have a good night, folks.